Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates and notifications from the Indian Express.
MG Motor has been in the news for the last few months because it's the newest brand to enter the Indian market, and making the news for it is its first SUV, the Hector, which we are driving with us today. Now this promises to be a car of the future. It is an internet car. Now beyond the internet features, there's a lot more to the car, and that includes how it drives, how it looks, how the interiors are, how the rest of the features are. Now this car will go up against stiff competition in a booming SUV market. So is it good enough to stay and make a mark for itself? Well, that's what we are going to find out on the show today. So let's talk about the design first. Now in terms of design, the Hector is quite a striking SUV to look at. Now MG claims that the front design is inspired from the F-35 fighter jet, and if you are someone who takes interest in fighter planes, it is not hard to spot the resemblance. But if you talk about the design in detail, you can see there's a lot of chrome up front, and that's a good thing because most Indian buyers love chrome. So that is going to go down well with a lot of buyers. There's a large grille up front with the MG badge, and of course the front end looks quite sharp. You've got the blinkers right on top and the headlamp unit here. Now the combination overall looks very nice. It's a striking design and it's sharp, and of course it is unlike most cars, which gives it a fresh character. Now talking about the side profile, well, again, just like the front, the sharp creases continue on the side as well, and you've got some great looking 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. Now these are good looking alloy wheels. It's just that the Hector is quite huge in terms of dimensions, and that's the reason why the wheels feel a bit undersized. But apart from that, if you look at the side profile, there's a strong shoulder line, you've got roof rails, and the roof line too is quite nice. Tail lamps have been given a design to feel connected from one side to the other, and the red part done just below the MG badge looks a bit tacky. But apart from that, of course, the car looks nice. The bumper again is good looking, and overall what you get is an SUV that looks the part. It looks macho, it looks butch, and it's a dynamic vehicle with good on-road presence. So now we're inside the Hector, and this is one of the most interesting bits because it's an internet car. So what does it really mean? There are more than 50 internet connected features inside the car, but there's not time enough to tell you all of that, so we'll get down to the most important ones. Now because this comes with an embedded eSIM, that means you get a lot of connectivity options and you can access a lot of functions using your smartphone. It comes with preloaded apps, and one of the most interesting apps within all these is the Gaana app. And that means that when you have internet connectivity on the go, you can access your favorite music, and that's a really nice thing. You also get over-the-air updates, which means you don't need to go to a workshop to get the system updated. Whenever there's an update, like it happens on your smartphone, through internet connectivity, the system will get updated, making sure you have the latest software bits. You can get a clear account of how you've been driving, how you can improve in terms of fuel efficiency. All of that data also can be accessed, which will lead to better and efficient driving. Now one of the other things is that it of course gives you better safety. So in case the airbags get deployed automatically, an emergency assistance call is made by the car that ensures that help arrives in time. You can do geofencing, which ensures that you will get to know if a vehicle is going outside the area marked by you within a certain limit. Apart from that, you can also just press the iCall button and get a call from the MG call center for any kind of assistance you might need. And you can also know your vehicle's status before going out on a drive on your smartphone, and that is what makes it so much better in terms of overall experience. Now one of the features in the Hector that MG has been pushing a lot is its voice activated commands. Now there are two types of commands that you can access through voice. One is where you don't need to wake the system up, so things such as turn on AC, turn off AC.
Climate control is already on.
As you can see, smart enough to get the command. But if you want to open the sunroof or the side windows, then you need to make a separate command, and that's what I'll show you right now. Hello MG,
I'm here.
open the sunroof. Works well. Apart from opening the sunroof, you can open or close the driver's side window, you can access the climate control, you can access the fan speed, you can even turn down or turn up the brightness of the screen, you can access your last or the next radio station, and you can also access the zoom level for the map if you're using navigation. All these using simple voice commands. So now with the internet bit discussed, well, it's time to tell you how the overall cabin is, and it is quite a nice looking and a plush cabin. If you talk about the dashboard, well, right here you've got a soft touch material, looks nice. Even the plastic bits on the top and the bottom have been done tastefully, so the sense of premiumness just continues. The dashboard design, if you look at the center console design, again this has been done quite nice, merges well with the overall dashboard layout, and the instrument cluster too is quite good looking. The digital screen in center gives you access to a lot of information, and of course you also have the analog counters on both ends which give you the speed and the engine RPM. The steering wheel, well, it's a leather wrapped unit and it gives you the buttons for your infotainment and the cruise control. Again, quite nice to hold, feels premium. The seats themselves are quite nice. These are leather seats. The stitching bit, the design bit looks nice. The side support, the under thigh support on these seats is quite nice. The cushioning is good. So if you're going to be in these seats for a long time, if you're going out for those long journeys, the seats are going to keep you comfortable. Now, since it is a well-connected car, you also need a lot of points where you can keep your devices charged. So in that respect, well, right up here, you've got two USB ports and an aux-in port. Interestingly, the rear view mirror, here also there's a USB port. So this is specifically in case you're using a dash cam, you can keep it charged using this cable here, and you don't have to run a long wire and you don't have a messy cabin. So that is a very thoughtful thing. Now, another good feature in the MG Hector is the 360-degree camera view, and this comes in really handy if you're trying to get your car in or out of tight parking spots. So there are two ways to access this. You can either use the button here in the lower center console, or just go on the screen, and this gives you a complete 360-degree view of the car, and that means that driving this in heavy traffic or getting in and out of tight spots is going to be a breeze. So now we're in the rear seat of the Hector, and as you can see, there is a lot of space. So in terms of legroom, where there's a lot of it, I've got the driver's seat adjusted to my driving preference, and I'm 5 feet 8 inches for reference, and there's absolutely no lack of rear legroom. So even if you're someone who's more than 6 feet tall, legroom is never going to be an issue. Now, since the roof line on this vehicle is not a sloping one, that means that headroom too is not an issue, and taller occupants too will never have a problem in this respect. Now, talking about the seats themselves, well, the seats are quite nice, the cushioning is nice, the backrest angle is nice. So in terms of being here for a long duration, well, that's going to be a comfortable experience. Of course, there's a flat floor as well, so that makes it comfortable. In case you're having 3 occupants here, there is not going to be much of an issue. The only slight downside with the seat is that the under thigh support is just about okay for me. So if you are someone who's taller than me, the under thigh support could be a bit of a bother. But apart from that, well, there's nothing to complain in this cabin. It is a spacious cabin, it's a good looking cabin, feels premium, and of course, you've got all the features that you could ask for in this particular price point. In terms of convenience, well, what you get here is the rear AC vents, and of course there's a USB point here as well, and there's space to place some small knickknacks here. The door pockets, again, they're fairly large, so you can put in a couple of water bottles, and of course adding to the comfort is the fact that you get a leather cushioned armrest here. Again, the placement is quite nice, and that means that this overall seating experience is quite a comfortable one. Alright, so let's talk about performance now. Now, With the MG Hector, as far as engine and gearbox options are concerned, you get a lot. There's a 2-liter diesel engine which gives you a power output of 170 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, and there's a 1.5-liter turbocharged petrol motor which gives you 143 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. With the diesel engine, you get only a 6-speed manual gearbox, but with the petrol motor, you can choose between a manual gearbox or a dual clutch transmission. Another interesting option, the one that we're driving right now, is the petrol hybrid. Now this is India's first 48-volt hybrid. So what this does differently is that it regenerates the energy every time you brake. What would have been lost otherwise, that energy is captured, and MG calls it e-boost. So every time you mash the throttle, well, you get that power in the form of a boost, and that helps you go a little bit quicker. Of course, it has fuel efficiency benefits and it also lowers carbon emissions. There's the usual start-stop as well. In terms of drivability, well, the engine is quite nice. It is a smooth unit. It's a rev-happy unit, so once you get it past about 2500 RPM, you can actually have some fun with it. The only issue is that in the starting bit, that is just getting it off the line, there is a bit of a lag. So once the turbo spools in, which happens at about close to somewhere about 1700-1800 RPM, then the engine moves effortlessly. But if you're somewhere like on an incline, you're trying to go up an incline, that is a point where the vehicle does struggle a bit. But on the highway, the performance is quite nice. You can easily reach triple-digit speeds and maintain it. Overtaking the long trailers also should not be a problem. Just slot in a gear down and you should be going quite quickly. The diesel engine also offers good performance, and the good thing about the diesel engine is that the company has worked a lot on lowering the NVH levels. So as a result of that, the cabin is quite insulated from a lot of external sounds. In terms of performance too, the diesel engine is quite nice. Now this is the same diesel engine that powers the Jeep Compass as well, but the tuning here in is much better. So unlike the Jeep, where you do have some lag, this engine, there's lesser lag at about 15 or 1600 RPM. That's when the turbo spools in and you get a good drive out of it. Now today we've driven the diesel and the petrol hybrid, but only with manual transmissions. An automatic transmission is not something that we have driven today. So about the manual gearbox, I can tell you they work well in both engines. The throws are quite smooth, they're not very long, and the gearbox pairing also is quite nice with the engine, which complements drivability. Now the Hector is positioned as a comfortable and a premium SUV, and its ride and handling manners are also in sync with its character. In terms of high-speed stability, well, no complaints at all. We've been driving it on the highway today throughout the day, and the vehicle has performed almost flawlessly. Even around winding roads, it has been quite nice. Of course, there is noticeable body roll, and the steering is not really quick. So it's not a car that a driving enthusiast would enjoy, but it has power, it has good predictable handling, so you can have some fun with it. The ride quality is also quite nice, so even over broken surfaces, over potholes, over speed breakers, the cabin remains quite stable, and the occupants are largely insulated from the movement arising out of the undulations from the road. In terms of safety also, the Hector scores well. It comes with 6 airbags, ABS, EVD, disc brakes all around, and apart from that you got traction control. There's also a hill start assist. So add all of these things together and you get a car that gives you peace of mind. Now the key thing that remains to be seen is the pricing. My expectation is that the car will be priced somewhere between 14 to about 18 to 18.5 lakh rupees for the top variant, and if MG can get this pricing, well, nothing better than it, and I'm sure that it will go on to become a successful product. And coming to the question that was raised in the title of this video, whether this is a British or a Chinese SUV, well, technically the platform is designed and developed in China, so this is an SAIC derived platform. It is a Chinese vehicle technically, but it is made in India and it is a global platform. Now the best part is the way the vehicle has been designed, the way the features have been packaged, the execution, well, all of that is pretty much British as far as quality is concerned, and that's a big praise for this vehicle.